Hello everybody, welcome to Bad Bit Games, where we talk about all things PlayStation games. I'm your host Joseph, and today we're going to be talking about Sony's bombshell announcement, their first glimpse into what is the PlayStation 5. Is it worth getting hyped about? So with all that said, with all that out of the way, Future Joe, start the show. So in a very strange way, Sony has given us a first glimpse at what the PlayStation 5, or what they refer to as the next generation hardware, is going to look like. Via an interview between Mark Cerny and Wired, they came out and gave a good hard look at what the next generation of Sony looks like. So with that said, link down below to the Wired article if you want to hear more. Here's the few bullet points that I got out of the article and my thoughts about them. So with that, let's get into it, shall we? First bullet point, the PlayStation 5, or again, their next generation hardware, has been in development for over 4 years. Point 2, it's still unnamed and is not landing in 2019. This is something I've been stressing for years about all the BS rumors back in the day that the PlayStation 5 was coming out in 2019. Not the case. Also, dev kits are already in the wild, so those rumors are actually true. The next bit, and I'm actually going to take a quote out of the article, is that there's a new capability called ray tracing. It will support tracing of light trends to simulate complex interactions in 3D environments. While ray tracing is a staple of Hollywood visual effects and the NVIDIA's recently announced RTX line, no game console has been able to manage it yet. Ray tracing's immediate benefits are largely visual. Because it mimics the way light bounces from object to objects in a scene, reflective surfaces and refractions through glass and liquid can be rendered much more accurately, even in real time, leading to heightened realism. Now, this is all capable because of the new AMD GPU and CPU, which is a whole lot of tech jargon, but what it's saying there is that this new ray tracing, which is seen through like cinematic movies like the Avengers and whatnot, is going to make lighting and shadow effects even more realistic. That's something that we need to see to believe, but that gets me pumped that we're going to see better visuals in terms of lighting and shadow effects in gameplay. And also, ray tracing leads to better 3D audio. He talks about there being a dedicated 3D audio chip in the console, which benefits PSVR users, because if you are seeing and being immersed via the headset, you also want to be immersed in gameplay. So it's going to be way more accurate with not just visuals, but also audio, which is pretty damn awesome. And to talk about PSVR, here's the next bullet point. All PSVR hardware and software is backwards compatible, which is really awesome. So no need to worry about buying a new PSVR headset. That's going to be covered. You're going to be able to just plug in your old PSVR into the PlayStation 5, assumingly that's the name. That's awesome. We haven't seen new hardware benefit old hardware since like the Wii U. It's been crazy. That's something really awesome to hear, that Sony's continually supporting the PlayStation VR into the future. That's pretty awesome. Now, the next piece is not as exciting at first glance, but when you get into the nitty-gritty, it's actually one of the things that gets me the most excited, and that is the new solid-state drive technology that's in the PlayStation 5. He shows a demo to the narrator of a demo of Spider-Man, where he's free roaming, he's fast traveling, and the loading time is about 15 seconds. But with the new solid state drive that's in the PlayStation 5, this makes it so that the loading time for this PlayStation 4 game, need to really just make that clear, this is a PlayStation 4 game, but nonetheless, the loading time is 0.8 seconds. That's nuts. That is 19 times more faster than what is currently out in the market right now. That is crazy speed. That is something where Sony is starting to boost that, hey, with this console, you're not going to see loading screens, which is something that we kind of hope for in the beginning of this generation. But again, that's something really awesome. The next bullet point is a small one I don't want to touch on too much. This console is going to support 8K resolution. Fine, there's nothing on the market that supports that right now. I think this is just Sony trying to prove that they're being forward thinking into the future, like 5 years and beyond with this console. cool, but again, didn't blow my skirt up. The last thing that gets me very excited is that all your PlayStation 4 games will be backwards compatible because of the CPU and the GPU taking homage from the PlayStation 4, having its heritage in the PlayStation 4 architecture. This console will be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4 as of yet, which means more may come. Because of a blueprint back in the day with these rumors and speculations that I kind of didn't want to focus on too much, it also showed that this console may be able to play PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 1 games. Again, big maybe, that is one you may want to take with a grain of salt, but as of right now, they're merging the ecosystems between PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So that is really awesome, meaning you could play Horizon, you could play God of War, you could play Uncharted, all on your PlayStation 5. No need to, just, hey, I need to keep my PlayStation 4 around. No, it's all on your PlayStation 5. And also, if you're nervous that you love your physical media and that may be going, don't worry, the PlayStation 5 still supports that physical media. So that is a big yes. So what are the top things that get me excited, and what are some of the things that I'm kind of skeptical about? Well, first thing, and I'm going to be a little unprofessional here. The first thing that gets me excited is backwards compatibility, at least hardware-wise and software-wise, between the PlayStation VR and the PlayStation 5. It's awesome to see that Sony still believes in this piece of hardware and they see a future for it, that it's a staple in the PlayStation brand. That gets me really excited because it shows they actually give a shit about the hardware. That's pretty dope. Also, the backwards compatibility between PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games. It's awesome that I'm not going to have to buy a 8K version of Horizon Zero Dawn, right? I'm not going to have to buy a PlayStation version of God of War, whatever the next one is. So that's awesome that, again, I don't have to go out there and spend extra cash. It's just part of the ecosystem, and also shows that, hey, I don't have to have these two consoles under my TV. I just need to have this one. That's really awesome. It's about creating Sony as a platform, and that's what we're seeing with this whole backwards compatibility talk. Also, I am hopeful, big fingers crossed, that we get some PS3, PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility and PS1 backwards compatibility. That would be pretty dope. Again, if the rumors are true, I'm very excited. With that, though, the rest I'm skeptical on. And I know I'm the Sony guy. I should be boosting you guys up. This should be the greatest thing in the world. But, man, making a claim like, hey, we're going to have 0.08, seconds of loading within games, that's cool and all. That is a PlayStation 4 game, though, right? Like, that's something I am a bit skeptical of. I need to see it to believe it. The ray tracing, I'm not saying it's not there, but I need to see it to believe it. I'm not the one when I hear the tech jargon of this is an AMD Radeon, whatever. I don't care about that stuff. That's why I really didn't put it in the notes here, because for me, that's just tech jargon. That's not the reason why I buy a console, to know the CPU or the GPU. I buy it for the convenience. So for me, I don't care about having the latest and greatest. I want my games to look good, but I also want the software to back it up. So coming out in front of the PlayStation 5 like this, it's awesome to see. Also, Mark Cerny kind of hints that Death Stranding may or may not be some type of PlayStation 5 launch transition game. So it's awesome to see that they're going to have some heavy hitters, or at least around the time this console comes out. So is the PlayStation 5 what I think it is? Yes, absolutely. That excites me. It shows that Sony really cares about creating this platform. I just now need to see the proof in the pudding. I'm, again, not over the moon. I'm excited because to see other people excited for this piece of hardware, to see PlayStation fans excited that Sony's talking again, gets me excited. And I can't wait to see personally what Microsoft shows with their Xbox, whatever the hell they're calling it, with xCloud. I'm personally excited to see the next generation of whatever Nintendo has with the Pro or the mini versions of the Switch. I love video games, and seeing the excitement within all these communities is awesome. So the last thing that I want to do is breed this console war mentality that is the dumbest thing ever. I see Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo going in different avenues, and I hope that brings a new conversation of maybe the beginning of the end of this console war talk, where we can just get back to what is important. That is video games. So again, this news is awesome. I don't want to like dampen anybody's hope. Am I over the moon? This is amazing. Yeah, it's cool. But again, now I need to see it. And rumor has it, the reveal is way sooner than we think. Oh boy. I'm excited, man. This is awesome. You know, the next generation is coming. Not in 2019, like Joseph said, because Joseph's a smart son of a bitch. So with all that said, and with all that out of the way, if you like PlayStation news like this, should you buy top fives, a PlayStation podcast called The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players each and every Thursday, which you bet your bottom dollar we're going to be talking about this. I'm so excited. Then hit like, share, subscribe. Helps me out, grows this big, beautiful family that I call home, because here at Bad Big Games, that's what it's all about. It's about PlayStation and talking to you guys and gals out there. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, keep your wits about you. And have a nice one.